In 2015, I sat with the band POD, Wuv, Marcos, Sonny, and Tre. Came into the studio at Playboy Radio the day they released Awakening, their 10th studio album. This was one of my favorite interviews. It really was. These guys are open about their music, their lives, their struggles as a faith-based band. POD talk about influences like U2, Santana, and Bob Marley. And another radio interview alum, Pantera's Vinny which I loved. POD has been around since 1992. And they shared some great stories, summed up perfectly by Marcos. Quote, just trying to be a little light in a whole lot of darkness, end quote. Thank you to Sonny, Wuv, Marcos, and Tre. Thank you as well to Playboy Radio. Here's the interview with POD. And please subscribe to future episodes and follow us on Twitter at INTRVW. Enjoy this conversation with POD.
The Playboy Radio interview. The biggest stars, the people you want to know, in their own words. Only on PlayboyRadio.com.
Playboy Radio interview on PlayboyRadio.com. I'm Josh Cooperman, and this is going to be fun. I'm excited about this.
Yeah.
I got Wuv.
How you doing, buddy?
I got Marcos.
Yo.
I got Sonny.
Yep.
I got Tre.
What up?
POD in the house.
Yes, I.
Hey, guys. How are you?
Great, man.
Great, man.
Good. Good to see you.
Thank you.
I got a ton to talk to you guys about.
Okay.
We were talking before, and I got married the same year you guys got started. Band got started in 1992, San Diego, California.
So 23 years for you.
Holy cow!
Beautiful thing.
Right? Thank you for that, because I forgot the exact count.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna go home with that stat. You'll be like, "Baby, you know we've been married 23." Oh my gosh, you knew that?
23 years.
Yeah.
So here's the thing: in 23 years, first question I just have for you guys: if you could say anything to the POD that got together 23 years ago. You could see time travelers, right? You come back and you say, hey, listen, guys, here's what's important. Here's what you need to know. What would you say to those guys?
Wow. That's a good one.
That's a real good one.
I mean, why don't you come up with the deep question first?
Mic drop.
Come on.
Ease us in, bro. Ease us in.
Wow.
Take your time.
You know what I would say? Hey, you know what? Like, I would say, for me personally, I would say, take it one day at a time and enjoy the ride. It's not about where you're going to get to. Just enjoy it, because when you're young, you're thinking about too many things that could happen or not happen, and you're kind of growing up together. So it's like, enjoy the ride, guys. Yeah. And let's not get hung up on certain things that maybe we got hung up on back then.
There you go. That's a good one, Marcos.
Wow, man. That's... No.
Hey, you know what? Look. I have my son here. He's my drum tech now. One of my sons. He just graduated, and I'm thinking about what to tell him. This is the question you asked me. You know what I mean? How you tell your kids. So it's like, that's something that you grow to, like, those are the things that you learn in life. You know what I mean? The things you learn in life, and like Marco said, taking your time, not rushing into things, and being more observant and being more aware of like where you're at that time, instead of looking too far.
Yeah, well, listen, and I asked the question too because August 21st, your new record, The Awakening, 9th studio record.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you got it right.
So...
Oh, it's actually 10.
No, it's 10 including acoustics.
Yeah.
Including acoustics.
Studio?
10.
Yeah. I'm wrong, too.
Yeah,
Studio. Yeah. We just did this in the last interview. That's why we actually wrote it on a Sharpie. We counted it down. So we just figured it out, too.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
It's 10.
Maybe the acoustic record was so easy we really don't consider it a
Yeah.
What do you guys...
record.
Did you enjoy acoustic better than electric? Do you have a preference?
Oh,
Well,
They're different, man. We were doing a whole bunch of acoustic performances for radio.
Yeah.
And people just kept requesting it because it was... The acoustic performances were coming out so good, so we just decided, hey,
it was
do
easy.
Let's
We
make
did it on
official.
our own.
Yeah.
We did it on our own.
it was a trial and error kind of thing. Like, we weren't sure about it because we didn't write the songs acoustically.
Yeah.
So when we started playing them more, we were like, this isn't too shabby. Let's keep going. Let's keep doing it.
Very stripped down.
Yeah. Well, and it's interesting because we talk about The Awakening, and I'm gonna avoid all the terrible interview questions. Tell me about the band name.
Yeah.
Tell me about
When did you guys get started?
When'd you get started?
Yeah.
Why did you get started?
Well, but The Awakening, when I saw the title, to me, okay, I'm going to infer my own.
We want you to.
When you got a group that's been together for as long as you guys have been together, and it really is. We were talking about this before we went hot. It's like a marriage. It's definitely a relationship. You guys have been through a lot. An Awakening, to me, that title isn't just, that's not a throwaway line.
Right.
No, not at all.
Well, I think for us, man, 23 years later, we don't consider it the end. It's always a new beginning. You know what I mean? We're always learning and changing. We make mistakes all the time. You know, physically, spiritually, we're always growing. We never ever claim to be perfect or have life figured out. And so as we move through this journey, man, it's always new. This record was new for us, the way we approached it. We're just still stoked to be making music. We're still stoked that people come out. We just played in front of 100,000 people in Colombia. It was like, it's mind-blowing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then we'll play a little club in Hollywood tonight. It's crazy that we're still on this ride.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
It is. It's crazy.
You know, and speaking of that, let's talk about the F word for a second.
Nice. I like that.
Actually, it's the other one. I want to talk about faith.
There you go.
Yeah.
Because
Trickery
I think,
involved here.
listen,
Sneaky devil.
listen,
Sneaky.
come on now. I think you guys are, talk about taking the hard road. Okay? Hear me out.
Mm-hmm.
So you chose a creative endeavor for it was your passion, turned out to be a livelihood, right?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Rock and roll has always been, we can say whatever we want, we can do whatever we want. You know, the wilder you are, the crazier you are, sometimes success comes faster, right? You actually went counterintuitive with the way that you started. You guys started as a faith-based group, and I say that's not easy. That's actually harder to do than just
Much harder.
Making it the regular way. What were the initial challenges?
It wasn't like we started off and said, "Hey, let's be faith-based."
No, yeah, I got it.
Just to clear up, because we were playing, you know,
Keg parties.
Yeah.
clubs, bars that we weren't even 21 years
We were
old.
down in Tijuana, man, on Revolucion, dude, making pennies.
Wherever they would allow us to play,
What was it, Tacahuila getting
Oh,
crazy?
and
It's not true.
it was because we were open about our faith that people started to categorize us and stereotype us. And once they start to stereotype everything that you said, sex, drugs, and rock and roll, it's not rock and roll, so it's not accepted. It is kind of almost a racist thing. And we thought that we just said, okay, we embraced it. If that's what we're open book about what we believe in, that's what they're calling us. We embraced it, and we said we just need to be 10 times better than the band that we play with, because they're going to look at that band and said, because you can go up and say, hey, what's up, mother? And you get a crowd screaming for you. Your band can suck, but you can win them over by the things you say.
Come on, Sonny, say it. Say it. No.
My son's in the room.
I'm just kidding. We'll get to that.
I save it for the bedroom.
come on, everybody, get your
I didn't get
come on,
you.
everybody, get your faith hands in the air.
Hey man, I didn't.
Everybody
figure
say
you as
hallelujah.
I didn't figure you a shock jock kind of guy.
No.
Would you know what to kind of elaborate more on what Sonny's talking about? I think that's where the punk rock comes in more.
Yeah.
When punk rock music had something to say, the music wasn't necessarily as polished. It wasn't produced. It was more about what you were talking about and where you were coming from. And that's kind of the essence of what POD is about. So I would lean more towards the punk rock thing than the rock and roll thing for us. Yeah. We've adapted to the rock and roll thing because we kind of have to, but not that we have to, but you know what I mean?
That's how you're right. That's how we started. It was more punk, more hardcore. All the bands we were playing were white power, were
skinheads, or they were full-on suicidal.
Straight edge. There was Hare Krishna. There were, vegans. So all these different groups, they were all saying something. It's like, why couldn't we say what we want? And we had more angst about it back then. I think we were a little bit too militant. We were young, but it was like, hey, this is a new faith we discovered. It was almost like a gang mentality.
Yeah.
Hey, we're going to go out and we're going to say what's up, what we believe in. We're not going to back down. We'll die for this, until you realize, man, the only way to win these people over is obviously by playing excellent music, but loving these people. We're not going to go and rip their heads off in the name of our faith, but we're going to love them and then leave it up to them. Hey, man, you like this band? Cool. Listen to what we're saying. Maybe you'll find something else.
Love with kick ass in it. You know what I mean?
That's what
with a
people
little
used to
kick
say,
ass rock and roll don't hurt.
All our friends that would come to the shows, because we grew up right next to Tijuana. All our homies would come to the show to back us up and go to the shows, and a lot of the local bands wouldn't want to play with us anymore because our friends didn't know how to pit. They thought pitting was a fight.
Yeah.
So they would go there just scrapping everybody, doing the things, and we started getting a rep like, dude, you don't want to play with POD. Like, they just come with a bunch of gang members. And aren't they supposed to be Christians, man?
Yeah,
like, what's up with these fools are nuts. Yeah. And we'd have to tell our friends, like, hey, dude, like, when people move, like, that means they like the band, homie.
Yeah.
That doesn't
You ain't got to hit nobody.
You know what I'm saying?
People throwing haymakers and punching people in the face.
And we're
like, hey, when he
22.
bumped into you, he didn't mean it like that. He bumped into you because he's into the music.
But we were learning, too, back then. We were learning, you know, how to play live, what the crowd wants, what the crowd's doing, because, you know, we were learning.
Because listen, hey, I was right there checking out the homies, and somebody bumped into me, and I just had to, like, straight up clock on him.
Okay, so it's interesting, too, because you say you were learning, right, Sonny? But not only were you learning, but the fans were learning as well. I just to put this in perspective. Knowing you guys were coming in, I went back to look and see what some of the chart toppers were in 1992.
Nice.
Oh, God.
Wow.
We got Black or White, Michael Jackson.
Wow.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
You got All for Love, Color Me Bad,
Color Me Bad.
Oh, nice.
I'm Too Sexy.
Oh,
Too sexy.
Right Said Fred.
Right Said Fred. Hey, Right Said Fred is
He works for
actually
us.
he works for us.
He's our bass tech.
He's our bass tech now.
Bass tech, yeah.
One of the guys.
Come on.
No, he looks
His
like him.
twin.
That's funny.
And he wears sweats all the time.
And
He wears like the knee-high sweats. Yeah.
that's awesome. Hey, listen, if that's the look you're going to throw down.
They're capri
Own
sweats.
it.
That's
Own
the
it.
thing.
You're gonna wear
Capri
'em?
sweats.
He's a hipster.
Okay, I take that back. And Jump, Crisscross.
Ooh, crisscross. Some make you jump.
But that's all
Okay.
pop stuff. You're not going on the rock side. 'Cause-
No, that okay.
Because
Those-
Enter
was different
Sandman
back
was
then.
out then.
Yeah, but those
you
were
know.
those were the chart toppers. My point is that the majority of music fans at that time, the majority
Right.
of music fans at that time, that's what they were listening
I see
to.
where you're coming from.
You know what I mean? And music has changed so much. It's changed for you guys. The business has changed.
Yeah.
Way changed.
The business has changed completely. And, you know, you talk about being together for a long time. Talk to a lot of bands that come through here. And the ones, it's really interesting. The ones that have been together the longest are the ones who take, I guess this makes sense, they take the business more seriously. They don't mess around like they used to. And I think you know, the lifestyle choices, that's just something that comes with age, right? But it's,
true.
For sure.
but it's
Experience.
yeah. But it's the manner in which they handle their business
Right.
that's changed dramatically. And the music business has changed for you guys. How do you approach writing? How do you approach rehearsals? How do you approach the business of being musicians now?
I think for us, a lot of it is energy and vibe. If it feels good to us and we're proud of it, then we're going to record it and put it out. We're not on a mission to go out and try to be something that we're not. And a lot of times in this business, people are trying to do that to you. Hey, well, this is what's hot right now.
Let's get a writer.
You know what? You know what? Crazy Town's hot right now. Youth of the Nation needs to sound like Butterfly.
Whatever
and we
hit.
were like sitting there going, what are you talking about, dude? We're not going to do that, man. Like, we're going to be who we are, and that's been the key for the band's existence.
Well, it's interesting, too, because don't you also worry when you come out with a new record? The concern has to be, on this side, am I sounding too much like the last record? Am I going to disappoint my fans now because I sound like I sounded last time? Or am I going to change so much with this one that it's too much of a change?
I think.
Well, let me say.
Sorry, I've confused
Well,
everything.
I'm going to answer one of your other questions too. If you can go back in time, a lot of that too is, dude, watch. It's all about the decisions you make. And sometimes when you're in the heat of the moment, even with this industry, this business, and you're at the top of the mountain, you think that's how it is all the time. So to go back, I would say, dude, watch your choices, watch who you listen to, who's in charge, who's in the label that's telling you this and that. And I think now, because we've kind of went through all those experiences, we could sit here 23 years later and say, dude, we've always written the album we want to write, but I don't think there is any more fame to be had. I don't think there is any more money to make because this industry is dry. It's dried out. No one buys records anymore. So you tour because you still have fun touring. There's people that are still coming to your shows. I mean, that's how you make money. So I don't think we're catering anymore. Whereas even when you were at the top of the mountain, you still have those people that say, well, we really need to top, those hits, or we need a follow-up successful record. And then everybody has their opinions. You're already paying into a corporation with all these people, and everybody's got their hands in your pocket. So now I think we're back to that punk rock mentality where it's like, you really can't care anymore. We're stripping down now. We're dumbing down. Everything is punk rock again, plugging in and playing in these dirty, sweaty little clubs.
without the semi trucks and the
you know what I mean?
50-person crews and all that kind of stuff.
You're not doing those things anymore. Before it was like, yeah, you have people making your decisions. We need this. We're like, you're not even making money on tour because you're too busy worrying about the LED behind you or, what banner, what pyro to put. So all of a sudden you're employing 20 guys on the road. And you're like, man, we're playing, this is just decent sized clubs. Like this isn't Kiss.
Yeah.
So there's so many different things that you never know how this industry is going to play out. Now, I think we've stripped down more punk rock again.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah.
This is Playboy Radio. This is the Playboy Radio interview on Playboy Radio. I'm Josh Cooperman. Sitting with me is POD, and we're talking about the business of music. And it's interesting too. You talk about the business. You talk about the choices you make. You talk about having that relationship with the record execs. Let's switch gears and talk about the other F word, because you make a choice, and that choice sometimes has ramifications. Do you ever think that there would be any sort of negative ramification for saying a word like the F word on a record when
You've done your research, man.
yeah. When you're a band.
Right.
Yeah.
You're a band and you're playing to the youth of America. I mean, it's so funny too, because I've had a lot of musicians come in here. You guys know Sen Dog.
Yeah.
He's going to
coming
be
out tonight.
Our show.
Is he?
Yeah.
Sen is awesome.
Yeah.
Sen dropped 27 F-bombs before we went hot, before we hit record, and that's part of his vernacular. That's part of how he speaks, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's how never impacted his record sales.
Right.
Something like that, you guys do that one time in context.
In
and
context,
it can affect record sales.
It's still affecting radio plays right now in that genre, in that world, which we're experiencing now.
How do you
But
reconcile that?
We like Sonny said, we never intended to like cater
To that world,
to
yeah.
that specific world. We've always been like a band of like just raw, and the things that we write about are the things that are involved in our life. You know what I'm saying? Without categorizing whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? So when we choose to express ourselves the way we do, we never really think about what the consequence is going to be, because it's just we don't think that far ahead. It's not a thought out type of thing. It's an emotion. It's a lifestyle.
Expression.
That's
Okay.
back to that's back to the punk rock thing that,
Right.
that I mentioned earlier.
Being
Because
creative.
seriously, the problem is that the listener that's taking it to heart is getting stuck on the word, and they're not even listening to the whole song about what
Yeah,
it's
but
about.
Not every
the most
listener.
important
Yeah,
part.
but you know what, Marcus? You know what the problem is? It's not the listener. They're not getting stuck on it.
Yeah.
Right.
You're absolutely
What
right.
happens is, in music radio today, like it's been forever, there's one guy.
Yeah.
There's one guy at every station,
Yeah.
right?
That it rubs
There's
the wrong
one
way,
guy, and
yeah.
that's your music director, your program director, and they're going to decide.
Yeah.
What does my listener want? What does my listener want to hear?
Yeah.
They're making the decision.
Which is but see, we've never ever catered to that world.
The latest one is this guy that we heard. I'm not going to mention his name. He's a PD at a station, and he's critiquing our song, saying that it doesn't sound finished, like he's a producer.
Right.
And we're like sitting here going,
But
"Yo,
he's a
bro,
PD at it. Like,
play songs. You're a program director.
Yeah.
You're not a producer, homie."
Right.
well, everyone's a critic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone's a critic. How does that affect you? I mean, personally, listen, you think my music needs to change. Well, I disagree.
Right.
But as again, back to the business, you have to listen to everybody.
Well, you
Yeah.
do, but I think a lot
Slow
of it
it
is
down,
you have
listen.
to. You just need to be the best. We have to be the best us that we are.
Strategic.
We're never gonna be able to appeal to everybody. We just need to do what we do.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you take it all in, and you take some of it, and you don't take some of it.
And that goes back to what we said: try not to cater to certain people. And I know where you're getting at. Even with, we've been labeled, and in that world, and I'm going to say it, in that Christian world, they want superheroes. They want to put us. They wanted us to be the poster child. First, they didn't embrace us because our music wasn't contemporary gospel Christian. But that's okay. We were playing in clubs. We were playing with real secular bands. The moment we started selling records, they started to embrace us as a poster child. But then not only that, because it is a faith base, they want you to be their spiritual superhero. And we're four guys. Like, dude, we're men. And the reason why we have faith and believe in God is because we need help. You know what I mean? We're every day we're trying to make it through this crazy thing called life with a little help in our faith in God. But people expect you to be perfect, and it's ridiculous to think that the F word is if you think that's the worst thing about me, then dude, I'm doing pretty dang good. But that ain't true. That ain't true.
Well, wait till they see this stuff on social that we're here at Playboy.
Yeah. Oh, you know,
right?
This actually is
come shake my hand. See how sweaty my palms are because I'm thinking about all the freaking backlash we're gonna get for being at Playboy.
Are you really?
Oh yeah.
Well, you know what?
Of course.
When we got asked to do this,
no,
it's okay. When we got asked to do
rock,
this,
baby.
the first thing I hit back management. Okay, cool. Like because I don't know. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I even asked my son's here. I asked right hey dude, is it kid friendly? Can my son come by? And they're like, dude, it's professional, man. It's a radio station. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna bring my son with me. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta look out. But everybody is thinking, how could you support? How could you do that? It's like, dude, we're gonna do an interview. We play music. We'll go wherever they ask us to play because we're still being us.
Isn't that part of spreading the gospel? I mean, listen, I'm not
you
a
said it, my
guy,
friend.
I'm not a religious guy, but
Right.
I mean, isn't that part? You don't want to go where they've already heard the story before.
Exactly.
Well, that's where the churches got it
But that's
wrong.
the
They
thing.
stay in church 7 days a week. They don't have no idea what's going on in the real world.
They're club.
So
It's a club.
I'm gonna let Marco say it because he said it a couple times in today's interviews, and it was right on time. A little light.
Oh, that one. Hold on. Roll that. All right.
You got to do a real jazzmatazzy.
So
though.
check it out, man. We're just trying to be a little light in a whole lot of darkness.
Yeah,
There it is.
he took a little bit of Santana from
Yeah, he did.
Nice.
I was trying to think of where
Hey,
I heard that.
Santana's my carnal, so I can say it. You know what I mean?
We've been on his records.
Yeah, I'm not tripping.
We played on his stage with him. We've been on his records.
But see, that's the thing is everyone thinks that we're this band that's set out to change you and conform you. No, we're just trying to be.
Man, I'm trying to
that
change
little
myself.
We're just trying to be a little bit, like I
Straight
said,
up, dude.
we're trying to be a little light in your life. Like the bands that were influenced us, the U2s, the Santanas, the Bob Marleys. They were inspiring people with positive vibes and positive music. That's what we do. But what's at the root of it is our faith.
Right.
So that's all it is. People want to put us, they're the poster children for Christian rock, and we're not even considering ourselves Christian rock. You know what I mean?
They don't even.
We even have to tell our management and our label, dude, we're not a Christian rock band.
Yeah, but you know what?
Exactly. See, you're stuttering.
No. No, I'm looking. I'm actually. Yeah, I am. Perception is everything.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Absolutely.
I mean, it's funny too. You're not Striper.
No.
But how many Striper jokes have you heard in the last 23 years?
A ton.
I tell
Right?
them.
Yep.
You tell one?
That's awesome.
That's funny.
But the funny, cool fact here is somebody sent us an image of Striper's Facebook.
Yeah.
And their top 5 bands, number 1 band.
POD, baby.
That's not bad. I love those guys.
And that's
man.
recently. Those guys are cool, man.
They're
cool,
super
man.
cool, man.
That's
They
awesome.
do their thing.
In 23 years, you guys have traveled a lot, and Wuv, you were talking about this.
Yeah.
You've gone from stadiums, small clubs, traveling in the bus. Mm-hmm. Tell me about traveling together. You guys like traveling together?
Yeah.
For the first
You
2
know what?
weeks.
This is, you know what? But here, this goes exactly with what we're talking about. Like for us to be a band like 23 years deep, we're 4 knuckleheads, dude. We're 4 dads. We're 4 just dudes. And the things that help us to be on a bus for 23 years, or a van, or broken down cars with our homies taking us on the early tour, is the fact that we can humble ourselves, you know what I mean, when we get into a fight, or take down our pride a little bit the only way we learn those lessons is by having the faith that we have. You know what I'm saying? If I was just, and I didn't care, then you see bands get destroyed all the time because they don't have that guideline to do those things. You know what I mean? The pride gets in the way. But for us, it's like, hey man, well, how do you cope with this situation? Well, man, forgiveness.
You said it
Forgiveness
best.
and
Love,
accepting that we're different,
Right.
that we're not exactly like each other.
Traveling
That's a
is
whole
hard.
other thing.
It
man.
is hard.
And you said it best, man. It's like a marriage.
Yeah.
It's like how do you spend 23 years with your wife? You know what I mean? It's like it is that compromise. You know what I mean? And it's the fact that we like each other more. We like each other enough to deal with the things that we don't like about each other.
Right.
I mean,
There you
if
go.
we're
We
not
love each other
we're not
that much.
arguing daily,
No,
But you know what?
not at all.
I heard a statistic that arguing is actually
Good.
healthy.
Yeah, it is.
And we have them once in a while. We're like brothers, dude.
Yep.
We don't agree.
No, we are brothers, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Well, I asked about the travel too because it's interesting. As in any marriage, I'm trying to think if I had to go travel, 40 cities with my wife in a van.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
A few arguments, huh?
I don't know, man. Right? Do you guys enjoy the travel? Do you guys? You've been everywhere.
can
Do
I-
you like
Overseas.
I you know what? In the early days when we were traveling, I didn't as much. I think now, like that we got older, like you say, the things you learn when you get wiser and whatever, is to take the time, like Marco said, and take the walks in different cities and take the pictures and do all the things instead of living the fast-paced life that I did and some of the guys did. You know what I mean? In your late 20s and early 30s, there's more appreciation time to sit back and look at the things around. So for me, traveling, the world is a blessing already. It's a bonus, and we get to see the world, 10 times over, and now it's just, to me, it just seems a little more sweeter for me.
Yeah, because it was like a hurricane. Everything was moving so fast back then, and we didn't get. I didn't feel that I had the time to sit back and just
And take it
soak
all
it
in.
in and go. You know what?
This is pretty cool.
Because everyone's pushing you. Go, 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 go. And you're like, all right.
I think one time we were in 3 countries in one day. Like
Yeah.
it was do that much press.
Yeah.
And it was like, this
3
is ridiculous.
countries one day.
That's when the fighting starts. You're like, sitting like, dude, get off. Shut up, man.
I remember being in a van going from station to station, and we're all sitting there just sleeping on the ride over just to get some type of rest. And that's not the fun part.
Yeah, it's not.
But
No.
but it's all worth it when, I always say the hard part is the 23 hours you're not on stage.
yeah.
The fun part is just
On
just
stage.
Is on stage, The
There
rest
ain't no-
really is work. The part on stage isn't work.
Like flying's not cool
Anymore.
I mean,
Not
we've gotten
anymore.
used to it. But back then, we were on a plane like 6 days a week. Six
Yeah,
days a
6
week.
days a week.
And you get what do you get turbulence, and you're like freaked out. We were getting so tired that I get turbulence. I'd be leaning my head up against the
Whatever.
I don't care, dude.
If we die, we die.
If we die, we die.
I'm gonna sleep through it anyway. Let's go.
I'm like, oh, this isn't that bad. I'm numb, dude.
I'm over there calming down the pilot. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hand
it's
me
all
another
good, homie.
jack,
We've
baby.
been through
Is
this
the jack's
before.
free? All right, get it.
No, we good.
Go down in a bang.
We good.
What are some of the best places you've ever played?
New Zealand.
Really?
I love New Zealand.
Wow,
I love
that
New
came out
Zealand, too.
fast.
Philippines,
yeah.
New Zealand, all of
New
South
Zealand
America.
is part of paradise.
Yeah.
Yes,
Part of the
Truman-
Polynesian Islands.
New Zealand's
People are
Truman
awesome.
Show, man.
Is it because of the location or is it because of the audience?
The location more for me.
Okay.
Well, because
I see where this is going.
But the audience is great too. But
Yeah.
but so is Australia. So is other parts of Asia. They love American bands, and when we ever have the privilege of going down there, they're excited. Whereas a lot of times in America, it's spoiled.
yeah.
I think the first time we went to South America was, 15 years into our career,
Yeah.
and so they came out by the thousands because they might not ever see you ever again. So you hear about kids taking a bus ride or hitchhiking across the country 25 hours
Just to see
just
us
to go
play.
see POD
Yeah.
because they don't know if you're going to come again. Here, LA, they'll be back next month.
Yeah, exactly.
We play a show tonight. It's the same thing. It's like, man, I hope it sells out because LA's spoiled. Like they can see you whenever they want.
It's true, right?
Yeah.
True that.
They
Everybody comes
decide
through
at the
here, man.
last minute.
Or it is
I'll go
sold.
see 'em.
Here's the crazy part. It is sold out, and everyone's just standing there. And you're like, you bought your ticket, right? Like, what are you doing here? You're too cool for school.
Am I here to
You know what I'm saying?
use you?
Yeah.
I got to remind myself, is this a
Hey,
POD show or are we
I'm-
opening up for somebody? Because you guys are standing around now. Everything is like this with their phone in your face.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Drives
Where
me crazy.
they would rather watch the show
On
on
their
a
iPhone.
4-inch screen than to watch it happen right in front of you.
Hey, we're brainwashed.
Yeah.
We're brainwashed.
Yeah.
Look I got my phone in my hand.
Yeah.
He's waiting to take a selfie with you.
Hey, by the way, I know it's probably already on social media. You guys are like, when you guys are playing a show and the crowd's doing that, does that tap your energy? I mean, you can't be pumped about that.
Can
Does
we?
that bug you?
Can I take a step
We're
back?
learning.
Yeah, yeah.
99.9% of the time, the crowd's going off.
Yeah.
It's
Thanks,
the
Will.
one.
I get it. I get it.
No, but when Sonny's
when
in the
it-
crowd, because he'll jump in, and I saw a picture in Colombia from the Colombia show. We were just in Colombia this weekend, and Sonny's sitting there with his mic, and you see nothing but cell phones all around him like this, and I was like, wow, dude. Everyone wants to. They want to take a little piece of Sonny home with them. So
Not me. They want to take a picture of themselves, or they just want to put it on their page.
Yep.
Look at me.
Yeah.
It's my world.
Selfie with you behind him.
Yeah. I'm the guest
In
appearance.
Brazil, when everyone rushed
In their world.
in Brazil, when everyone rushed the stage, I'm playing guitar and there's people like coming up against me like this.
Yeah.
Like this.
Hey, bro, we were in Brazil. The crowd rushed. A homie came and took my sticks from me and started playing.
Oh, you need to Google it.
Google it, bro. It's
You gotta
crazy.
Google it. It's awesome.
One person jumped on stage. The security tried to take him off, and normally I'm like, nah, this is old punk rock. Yeah, dude, go off. 2 persons, 3 persons. All of a sudden, half the crowd is on stage, and you can see footage with Wuv. They're like taking off his hat, switching his hats.
Yeah.
Taking my hat off,
Took
putting
his
theirs
stick, took his stick out of his hand while he's playing, and then realized he
Brazil.
couldn't play with
Crazy,
it.
dude.
Put the stick back in his hand. Wuv keeps going. You can't even see me. And then all of a sudden, after the song's over, the set's over, they lift me up like I'm some soccer hero. Ole, ole, ole. And I'm in the crowd like this, thinking in my mind, I can get killed right now. I can get stomped.
Yeah. What are you guys? What are you?
Nothing.
Nothing.
And I'm
Right?
thinking, what are you going to do?
Survival mode.
Enjoy it.
Yeah. Enjoy.
You know what? To be honest with you,
I did.
I've been contemplating doing an Afro Man, homie.
Oh, asshole.
Just turning around and going.
Did you see that footage?
No.
Some girl was behind him on stage dancing all
During
faded.
his guitar solo.
He didn't realize it. He panicked, turned around, and knocked this chick out cold on stage.
Yeah.
One time.
He was jamming a solo, and then like she came and started grinding him, and he turned around and just boom,
A
dude.
female.
He didn't know. I don't think he knew.
I
it
don't
was a
think he
female,
I want to
but-
hope he didn't know it was.
I mean, I wouldn't have swung at anybody. You know.
No, but I'm trying to put myself in your. They're taking.
You get worried.
They're taking your sticks out. They're taking your hat out.
That's crazy.
At what point? I mean, you got.
At that point,
I'm
you
a
roll.
rock star,
at that
man.
point, you roll with the pack.
Yeah.
Or get left behind.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
And you
got to
go with
roll
it and smile and take the picture,
And
man.
pretend that you're just part of the homies right there.
Yeah.
It's like every time they go down to America or South America, dude, it's dangerous. Like, dude, okay, we're used to going to TJ and stuff. You just got to pretend like you've been there.
I would say
Like,
this
it's
though:
like,
the,
whatever,
fan-
man, it's
Act
all
like
good.
you know.
Act like
the,
you
fa-
know.
the
Yeah.
fans in South America are
Nuts.
the best.
Crazy.
They
They're
love
crazy.
you. They love us. So you
we do.
don't feel fear.
Yeah.
But
No.
there is, like we've said before, like with Dimebag Darrell, there's those
Yeah.
situations
Yeah.
where you get some crazy guy jumping on stage and like it's
Who
in
is
the
this
back
cat?
of your mind. Who is this dude? Like, we just want to make sure.
It's funny you mentioned Dime.
Yeah.
Because I'm a huge fan of Pantera, and I had Vinny Paul on the show, and I was asking him. It's funny too because I really wanted to talk to him about. There was a story with the Stanley Cup that I wanted to ask him about because after the Dallas Stars won the Stanley Cup, it got this huge dent. It was at his pool.
Oh, dude.
Oh, that's a great story.
That's sick.
And he confirmed it. It was great. But I was also, I was asking him about Dime, and I was asking him about, at the time, I don't want you to relive it,
Yeah.
but that always has to be in the back of your head, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
When you're a performer and you're putting yourself in front of people, does that cross your mind? Do you ever think about it? Or is it like I can't think about it because if I do,
It does. Whenever somebody comes on stage,
It does, but we don't. If you start thinking about that, you're going to be head tripping on stage.
Yeah.
So you kind of don't think about it and hope for the best and say, you know what?
Well,
You know.
obviously he's handling it well because they took it. We went out with them it was all over Europe. Yeah. And we're
Hell yeah?
hell yeah, oh hell yeah,
Hell
sorry.
yeah.
hell yeah,
right on.
And this is in Pantera, so we're not playing stadiums, right?
Yeah.
And it's sweaty, dirty European clubs, and Vinny's back there doing his thing, just like nothing, So he's obviously he's doing it.
I think
still,
out of all the
Vinny's our man.
rock stars we've met, he's like one of the most stand-up, genuine, coolest dudes, man.
He's a Texas boy. He barbecued for us at a festival today. He's like, y'all come around, man. He had a whole spread. Y'all taste. That's my guacamole, y'all. That's my salsa. Taste it. I made it
Taste my
myself.
salsa, y'all.
I have the best salsa in the world.
he's mad.
He
cool.
understands the band. He knows his history on
Yeah.
the band. He gets our band.
He's hip on
And
all that
it's
stuff.
like, you know what, dude? That guy's a true music fan,
Yeah.
but he's also just a gentleman.
And he's a rock star, man. He's a good dude.
Now I know why he has gentlemen's clubs, man, because he's a gentleman.
Yeah, there you go. You have to have a gentleman's club.
isn't that what they do? They stand around and be gentlemen. They just talk to each other.
I do it at
Gentlemen.
Gentleman's Club, right?
But yeah, it's funny too because you mentioned guys like Vinny Paul, and he's just a prince of a guy, great guy,
Yeah, man.
remarkable musician.
Yeah.
It's really interesting too because you have sort of two sides of the business, and you got guys who get it, and they understand the role that they play in life, and they've worked really hard to get there, and for some reason there are some more than others that give themselves permission to enjoy it. You know what I mean? And feel, I don't know if it's a response. I don't know if it's a responsibility that they feel to give back, but they just do.
You know what? That's, I think, POD's mantra too, man. Like, we definitely give back to our fans. Like, we know we're here because of them.
Yeah.
Try to do as much as we can. You know what I mean? Try to, for sure, no doubt about it.
Yeah, you guys seem like that kind of band.
We're down to earth.
You want. Well, it's more than being down to earth. You guys, you want to leave your mark, and you've decided that you're going to leave your mark the way that you guys want to leave it.
True. I think for us, you know, you get all those fans that say, "Man, you guys really rock," and they try to blow your head. You know, they blow your heads up because they think you're amazing, but then
Because we do rock.
because we do rock, you know. So I'm gonna pat Marcus on the back real quick.
Duh.
No, Sonny, you rock hardest, bro.
Thank you, brother.
Okay.
But
Thank you, brother.
but we've also had those fans come up that say, "Hey, you know, because of this song or because of you guys, I didn't kill myself."
Right.
And then all of a sudden the "you rock" comment is kind of so far
Yeah,
down the
it's-
line. We're like, and that just blows you away. And we continue to hear that, and that's what keeps us going. With like, dude, that kid that looks you in the eyes and like, there's not a show that don't go by, you know. And I'm not patting ourselves on the back, but even recently some girl, she's bawling her eyes out at a festival in Indiana, and she says, you know, she's like, I was gonna kill myself, ready to kill myself, and the song "Beautiful" came on the radio, and I'm here because of you guys. And so me and Wuv are standing there, trying to hold back the tears, you know. It's like, and it's amazing. So you can't beat that, man. That gives us the gas to say, dude, 23 years, we can make it to 30.
Yeah, that's
You know
a
what I
huge, that's a huge responsibility too, man.
Yeah.
Like it kind of, for me personally, is like overwhelming because I'm like, I'm not the guy, dude. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not good enough.
Don't look at me
I know.
because
I
know.
get 10 rolled tacos every day with rice and beans chilling at the crib. Sometimes I like Jamaica, sometimes I like horchata.
I
man.
put my
I'm that
pants
guy.
on 2 legs at a time.
I'm gonna give a little shout out to Rita too.
Oh, yeah.
Dimebags Rita, because she's
Dimebag Hag.
awesome too,
Yeah.
man. Dimebags Hag.
Yeah.
So,
That's her Twitter. That's her Instagram.
That's
man.
their Instagram.
We're not being disrespectful.
No,
That's it.
no.
No, that's Rita. That's definitely Dimebags Hag.
That's Dimebag's Hag right
I
there.
don't get it twisted now.
Come on now.
And with that, you know what? That's why POD rocks.
Thanks.
hey,
you, man.
thanks, man.
This is the Playboy Radio interview on PlayboyRadio.com. I'm Josh Cooperman, and as always, without you, the listener, there is no us. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
POD.
The Playboy Radio interview is a feature presentation of PlayboyRadio.com.